Welcome to Around the Blockchain. Today, we are going to be talking about $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and ETH being bought up. We're also talking about ADA's stablecoin. It's an algorithmic stablecoin. Can they avoid the pitfalls of Terra Luna and UST? And then Hugo Boss getting involved with NFTs. And we got an all-star lineup. We're going to get right into it. On the top right, we have Crypto WendyO holding it down. Make sure you follow her channel. She's always putting out good stuff. And her and Hotep been predicting some for scary events is all I'm going to say. I want to be careful with my words here. Then on the bottom right, we have Brad Varnell. Going to be linking up with him in Vegas just 2 days. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to see you, Brad. Then on the bottom left, we have Tim Warren. You can catch him at Coffee and Crypto or Tim's_TA on Twitter. Then on the top left, we have AJ Writes Crypto, one of our top researchers and writers here. For some reason, rocking the Meta Money jersey while sitting in the NFT Alpha office. But for today, we'll allow it. All right, let's look at the crypto markets, though. Before we get into those topics, it has been slight downward pressure here. Nothing super crazy. We have Bitcoin down about 1.5%. We have Ethereum down about 1%. Now, Tim, we're going to get into some, bullish use cases. We kind of talked about exchange levels at a multi-year low, about a 4-year low. But, obviously these macro trends take time to work out. Currently, we're in a downward phase. What is the weekend and the next couple of days looking like to you?
Well, yeah, I mean, so when you say a downward phase, it depends on which trend you're looking at. I would actually make the argument we're in an up phase right now. I'm going to start right here on the 4-hourly chart, where technically speaking, we are getting a little overextended on the RSI. But in case anyone hadn't been following me, let me start with laying out. We've been now for the last couple weeks now forming this ascending triangle, which should break bullish. In fact, the breakout point would give us a price prediction all the way up here at 22,340 at the lowest, maybe even all the way up to 22,500. But right now, we wrestled again here the other day with the top of this resistance. And coming back down, you guys can see I have my Bollinger Bands up. The reason I like it is because that orange line right there, that's the 20 SMA. So on the 4-hourly, this is the 24-hourly. The dip we suffered today, there was the question I had in my brain. Are we going all the way down to support, setting a higher low? But in fact, all we need to do is come down and touch that 4-hourly. Going out to the daily chart where you're starting to get a little bit longer time frame. The last big signal we have on the RSI was a bullish RSI divergence. Nothing on this RSI is saying it's overextended. In fact, what I'm seeing on the 4-hourly chart, if I could try to play, future, what is that? If I'm trying to read the future, if I'm trying to predict the future, I actually wonder with this descending level of resistance we've been in on the longer time frame, do we rally up here and touch this little red line, form bearish RSI divergence, come back down, retesting this form resistance as support, and then we actually make that play up around $22,000. And I know we're probably going to talk about that a little bit later on the stream with that money coming in. But all the bearish sentiment in the space right now, if you were to just tune it out for a second, take your emotions out and watch the charts, and then bring all that information back in, you actually get a very different narrative here. One that actually spells the short-term future of Bitcoin is bullish, not bearish.
All right, and that's an ascending wedge, correct?
This is an ascending wedge, yes. Well, ascending triangle. So a wedge is where they're both going up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good point there. You have the flat top ascending triangle. All right, now, Wendy, we talk about TA. I know you like the Fibonacci. What do you also give credit to, ascending triangles, ascending wedges? Of course, we're not saying these are easy to predict, but they have probabilities. 60% of the time it'll do this, or 70% of the time it'll do this. What do you put more faith in? Is it the Fibonacci levels, or is it some of the classical shapes and wedges that are formed?
Fibonacci's are great because they're symmetrical and they're also math. They're just basic math in nature, and they do really well, especially if you're brand new at TA. You want to find really great areas of support and resistance. Maybe you don't know how to scale out of a position, maybe where to put a stop loss. Fibonacci is fantastic for that.
Are we seeing the same things from Fibonacci that we're seeing from the wedges and the triangles here?
So the thing is when we're taking a look at the ascending or descending wedges, the triangles are okay, but I'm more of the patterns that are easier for me to spot are like an ascending wedge or a descending wedge. Those are a little bit easier for me to spot and they work better. So again, use what works for you. I'm more concerned with a lot of the fundamentals coming into play in a bear market. When in a bull market, you get good fundamentals, things absolutely go insane and everybody's making money. But in a bear market, when we're talking about bearish fundamentals happening, you do have the potential for a lot of downside. And again, I am still one of these people that thinks that we are going to see like $12,000 to $10,000 Bitcoin. I have a limit order set all the way down to $9,500 Bitcoin. I think that we are going to be seeing heavy regulation incoming until the end of Q1 of 2023, according to my sources. And I also do think that people are getting a little bit tired. We've been consolidating essentially in a crab range for approximately 110 days, 115 days. People are getting a little bit tired. And myself, I'm in the bull market. I was taking a lot more trades, not really touching Bitcoin too terribly much right now, just because of the volatility and the tight ranges that we've been creating in that particular region.
That is great advice. Reminds me of basically a Crypto Face, our buddy Crypto Face. He says, know the market you are investing in. Is it, oh my God, is this December 2020, January 21, or is this, bear market doldrum? So know the market you're going in, know the market that you're trading in. Shout out to Crypto Face, of course. Now, AJ Pleasant, you help us out, Pleasanton, I'm sorry. You help us out a ton with our crypto content. And then you did the 9 p.m. video today. Well, right now it's 5:08 p.m. Can you share any alpha that, I can't wait 4 hours. I need to know now. What was the charts telling you? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You maybe hit it on your mic. There's a red. It's red.
It's on the side thingy.
It's a side. You know what, AJ? We're going to give you a second. Nope. Yeah.
Can I say something really quick while
go
we're
ahead,
waiting?
Wendy.
So I don't actually like to refer to crypto bear markets as bear markets. I try to train my mind to refer to them as protect your capital markets. The reason being, the name of the game is protecting your capital so that when the next bull run comes, you can position yourself properly. You can buy the dips. You can invest in projects that you really, really like, practice risk management. And then when we get in the bull market, you take a bunch of profit, save some for taxes, which I hate paying taxes, but got to do it anyways. And then you rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and that is good advice. I do like that. It's a good way, good framing of your mind, because oftentimes when it comes to protect our profits or take some money off the table, we move too slow. When it's time to make money, we move too fast. So it's a good reframing there. AJ, real quick, sound test. How are we feeling? Yeah, perhaps log out, come back in. That might work. All right, Brad, I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to ask the same thing, AJ, but obviously you're not doing our 9 p.m. video. Are you also seeing the same thing with Bitcoin? I do want to share one quick fact, though. Their institutional investors are pouring in at the moment, and this is the first time in 2 years that we've got close to $1 billion in a week time frame. So institutional money's coming in. We're hitting lows, 4-year lows for the amount of Bitcoin that is on exchanges right now. Is this the time to maybe turn a little bit bullish? Is it capital protection time and maybe capital allocation time?
Great question. Thanks for having me on the show again. And I want to thank Wendy and Tim for what they've said so far, because I'm learning a ton by being on this show. When I first got involved in crypto, my mentor was just a hodl guy. Buy and hold, and if you do it for long enough, you're gonna reap the rewards. And that worked very well for me. But during this bear market, it's been such a great opportunity to educate myself on some of this TA stuff and longing and shorting the market. And although I haven't put a bunch of it into practice, I am excited for the next bull market, because instead of just being able to hold what I have, I'm going to hopefully be able to ride it up at maybe even just 3 or 4 or 5x leverage, which will go a long ways towards increasing my wealth quicker. But I'm kind of in the camp that Wendy's in. I still expect $12,000 Bitcoin. I was around in 18 when it crashed all the way down to 3,500, 3,200, which was way lower than most people expected. It caught me by surprise. And I just still think that the financial markets worldwide are hurting. And I also still believe that the wealthy and the elite have not got their claws into enough of these, hard money, amazing assets. They understand that Bitcoin is an amazing asset, that it's a hard money, one of the best assets that you can be holding. And I still think that they're trying to shake out retail and they would love to see this capitulate down to 10 or 12,000. So I'm still leaning bearish. I do see where Tim could be right, though, in the short term, and we could get a little pump. I know that back in 2000, I think it was I want to say around 2013 or 14, Bitcoin ran between about 2,000 and 3,000, and it went up and down multiple times. So it had these nice 50% increases where it was going from $2,000 all the way up to three, and then it would come back down to two. And I feel like in this bear market, or as Wendy said so eloquently, I love the way she put that, in this protecting your assets market. I love that, Wendy. I don't think we've really seen any relief rallies. I mean, we had one mini rally that took us up to, 25K, but we haven't seen anything that reminds me of a good relief rally. So I hope Tim's right. And in the short term, maybe we can get a little pump.
Hey, maybe plot twist. Maybe it's Ethereum's term for that, or time for those rallies, and Bitcoin's time may be gone forever. Just a theory I'm throwing out there. AJ, real quick, we're going to try to move on pretty quickly here, though. But
Check.
9 p.m. Alpha, can you share anything with us here?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can. Okay, thank God.
Come on, AJ. Come on. All right, stop hamming it up, buddy.
All right, classic. All right, so basically, there are some signals right now that are indicating that the bottom could be in based off the Bitcoin whale accumulation rate. It's at a similar level to where it was in 2015 and in 2019, I believe. But in 2019 and 2015, we didn't have, $31 trillion in debt. So it's a little bit different playing field now than it is, even though there are similar metrics. I'm totally on board with Wendy. The bottom is not in yet, in my opinion. But, crypto is always one of those things, right? When you think you don't know. And I could wake up tomorrow and it could be 25,000. So that's just the way she goes sometimes. But that's why we love this game, because it's so hard to predict.
I will say this when it comes to debt, spoiler alert, debt might just be higher every year than the year prior for a long, long time. So I don't know how much faith we can put in that metric when it probably is just going to go up and to the right. Kind of like that Bitcoin chart. And also like our likes right now going up and to the right by you smashing the like button right now. Thank you very much. Doesn't cost you anything. You're doing it right now. Already the joy is spreading through your body. All right, let's talk a little ADA and Djed. Of course, I'm talking about Cody, the coin Cody here. This is, we're going to share. Oh yeah, I did want to, bring it back. Look at that super chat, the best super chat we've gotten all week. JPEG Junkie NFT Mint, October 8th, 4 p.m. Thank you very much, Crypto Billy. All right, back to Cody. Cody is the protocol behind the stablecoin. If you're wondering, wow, this stablecoin is already down to 12 cents. No, think of them as the Terra Luna for UST. Hopefully, it won't be the Terra Luna of the UST here, but this is their all-time chart. You can see it trading, below a nickel here, 3 cents. Nice pumps above 60 cents there. I've been, full disclosure, I am an accumulator. I even bought $60 today. It was 500, Cody. I'm not trying to pump my bag. I just saw the article, became bullish. Now, they are working with a lot of people. Of course, they have the same brouhaha behind the coin. We're not going to get into technical aspects, but, there's going to be some crypto backing the assets. They have assets that they buy and sell, depending on the peg, and there's going to be all types of smart people doing a lot of smart math in the background, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's talk about their partnerships, though, real quick. Now, Wendy, I know you're getting a little into gaming, getting a little NFT. Djed, they want to team up with a tier 1 RPG. They're going to team up with some AI company. They're teaming up with DEXs. When you think of a stable coin making partnerships, does that increase your, confidence in whether it'll succeed or decrease? Because it could go either way. Maybe it's more attack vectors, or maybe it's more resiliency. Where do you land on that?
So I've been very interested in the whole play to earn, the metaverse, and collaboration with the NFTs, like all of that type of stuff in the gaming. It's super important. I honestly think that if people start paying attention to these types of projects now, no, I'm not telling you to invest. I'm not telling you to put money into it now. Pay attention, start educating yourself, doing your research. I think that you'll end up doing really well in the bull market because you'll be well versed and you'll know what to look for. As much as the whole Terra Luna UST algorithm stablecoin collapse and stablecoins are going to be hit heavy with regulation, I do think they're important to various crypto ecosystems, especially to different chains. And one of the reasons why, if you're somebody who's participating in these play to earn games, or if you're somebody who's actively trading some of these tokens, it's nice to be able to move your profits in, or if you feel that the markets can be super volatile, into a stable coin that essentially equals 1-to-1. But with that being said, we're still not at a place where we should be trusting stable coins 100%. So you really do need to outweigh the risk and reward. And I think that it's a positive thing that they're partnering with all these different platforms, but at the same time, you can't always trust everything, and you should stay diligent. And again, it's okay to take profits and convert your stuff to fiat, even though that sounds absolutely terrible because this is a crypto channel, but it is what it is.
I know. Hey, we have some people in the office. Tether is their favorite altcoin, as like we like to joke. But you do bring up a good point. You do have to settle things in dollars sometimes. Whenever there's a promise of payment, and then the payment is later, and if it's in ETH or ADA or Bitcoin, and the price changes, that is an awkward conversation. Oh, sorry, that 0.88 ETH. Nah, it needs to be 0.91 now, or oh, you gave me too much.
Also, like, because there's a lot of NFTs launching on Cardano, which is amazing because Cardano's fast. It's pretty easy to use. I've got a couple Cardano NFTs. I'm noticing that some of these NFT pre-sales, the whitelist and all that type of stuff, they're being done where they're just saying it's $250 in BUSD or in USDC, whatever it is, because of the volatility in the markets. And that also does help onboard people that don't have a lot of crypto education because, price is stable, it's flat.
All right. Well, speaking of onboarding, Brad, the whole Terra Luna collapse obviously put a bad taste in people's mouths when it comes to algorithmic stablecoins. Are they able to forgive that because this is a new chain? It's a new team. Apparently, they've been working on this for a long, long time. They have a lot of partnerships. Are you on the sidelines for this, or is this something that, you would be interested in? How does the Terra Luna fiasco affect your decision-making here?
Right. I think that personally, I'm in the camp where I would probably kind of sit on the sidelines and keep an eye on things for a little while. But I can certainly see where the ADA community would be excited about this and would probably be more willing to jump in and take advantage of it right off the bat. I think people that got burned by Luna are probably going to be pretty standoffish, maybe forever. But if one of these algorithmic stablecoins can prove that they have longevity and that they can, withstand the test of time, then I think that, it will definitely be a fantastic thing for the ADA ecosystem long term if it works out. And especially like Wendy said, to be able to move, from ADA or some token that's on the ADA blockchain into a stable coin without having to bridge it over to Ethereum, I think that's extremely valuable in the long term. So I'm rooting for it to be successful for sure.
All right. Now, Tim, you're pretty familiar with the Cardano ecosystem, and we kind of joke on the show. I love Cardano, but we joke about if you like Cardano, you might be a Cardano maxi. You probably have met a Cardano maxi in your life. Will the maxiism put blinders up for these people? Do you think that the fact that it is on Cardano, people will just assume it's been slightly better peer testing and slightly more academic research going into the coin?
Well, so good question there. First of all, is my mic working better now?
Yes.
I hope it is. I saw
so.
it muffled. All right. Sad everybody.
Yeah, that's haters in the comments. They hate us because you hate us.
Right.
We love
what I want to say about that is I'm going to be as brief as possible, but every single person gets into this space a little different. Some people came from trading stocks. Some people came because they're tech wizards and they love the technology of what crypto is bringing. Other people just get in because they're investors. My background, I literally had no experience whatsoever in either tech or investing. I literally saw this as an opportunity to better my future and my life. But when you're putting your future and your life into the hands of somebody else, you want to know whose hands you're putting them in. And the reason why Cardano has that little niche thing going for it is because of the priorities of that team, and it attracts people just like me. When I watch the things like Terra Luna happen, when I see the things like Solana, who moves very fast and has a lot of cool things going on, but then has these shutdowns, they have these problems. Cardano gets more attractive day after day because of the priority of security. And especially, I think, Brad and Wendy kind of touched on this, but there is right now a stigma of, can I trust stable coins? And guess what? Djed's not going to be able to avoid all of the stigma there. But where they have a step ahead is that the people working for them and the people building this stablecoin, who are known for moving slow, but keeping security as a priority, is going to be a check in the right direction for Djed, for Cody, for these projects. And like I said, every single one of us comes from a different area. But just like people like Kevin O'Leary and people like Mark Cuban and these investors, they don't have to understand every bit of the tech and understand all the details. They need to understand there are things about projects, there's the things about companies that make them valuable to invest in. So even if you don't understand all the ins and outs of stable coins and of every project in crypto, if you know about what makes a project valuable, one of them being security, another being community, that's what will draw a lot of people to Cardano-backed stablecoins, because you get both wins when you go Djed. And so when this stigma starts to go away and stablecoins are trusted again, watch Djed potentially be one of the front runners.
All right, and just a couple facts on how it does work, and a fun fact by this is their quote. It works by keeping a reserve of base coins and minting and burning stable coins and reserve coins. Sounds really easy. It's just difficult in execution. Fun fact, the Djed is the ancient Egyptian symbol meaning stability. All right, AJ, knowing that it comes from the ancient symbol meaning stability, how likely are you to use a dApp that uses Djed? Are you on the sidelines, or are you just going to not care and say, you know what, I'm cool with it?
Well, like, you wish them the best, you know, like, I don't know if I would personally be doing that. Like, I primarily, besides working here, I day trade. Most of my positions are done like with Tether, or, you know, so that's just kind of what it is. I don't participate as much in other things like that as I would like to, just because there's only so much you can do in a day. And but honestly, I think I'm bullish on the fact that Cardano is going through with this, because considering what we've seen happen with other algorithmic stable coins, that like it kind of takes them, they kind of have balls for doing this, because if it fails, like, that's a really bad look. And like, I don't think Cardano would put something out that's going to fail. Like, a lot of people are really bullish in ADA we trust, and Charles we trust, all that stuff. Like, Cardano is probably, like, they're some of the best people to ever do it. So I don't see that project failing at all. If it did, that'd be a really bad look. But am I going to use it in a dApp? Unless JPEG Junkies ends up doing something like that, probably not.
All right, Tyler Main in the chat. I don't know how true this is. He's talking about Cody's KYC system, and apparently very robust. And it's 3 months in, and he's still trying to pass the Cody KYC. So at least on that end, it is kind of sticking with that Cardano narrative that you brought up, where it's they test, they peer review, they have a scholarly, you know, discussion lectures, they go back and forth, all the people. So personally, like I said, I'm a holder, but you know, who knows? I don't know. It's a rough world out there for algorithmic stablecoins, but with high risk comes high reward, not financial advice. All right, let's talk about Hugo Boss. Real quick, just this is going to be a little impromptu lightning round. Raise your hand if you had Hugo Boss as a child. Who wore Hugo Boss as a child? Okay.
I bought it from Ross, though.
Dress for less, right? All right, Hugo Boss, they did announce they just teamed up with the Imaginary ones. I'll probably pull up a picture in a second, just because they are really cool. And it was a pretty popular NFT from a few months back. Very, very hyped. Very quickly got over 100,000 followers on Twitter. I remember everyone talking about it. Came out, and then, you know, basically there was no hype. There was no community, but the art was pretty cool. But they are teaming up. They're going to do a small set. They're going to have 1,001 NFTs. 500 are going to be given away, and 500 is going to have an allow list where you will be able to mint it. And a lot of this is going to go for youth aware of mental health. This is a mental health program. So a lot of it seems to be going to a good place. Wendy, when an NFT does partner with a big brand, in your mind, does that help solidify its success? Because we've seen time and time again, these partnerships don't change the floor price.
I think it does for longevity. I do consulting behind the scenes for a couple big brands that are integrating like Web3, NFTs, and it's kind of a cool thing to watch, is because technically we're still in beta when it comes to NFTs. We only had like one bull run with them, but it's cool to kind of see these brands evolve and whatnot. And I'm excited for it. And one of the things I did want to mention, if a brand is partnering with an NFT project and they're going to be donating the money to charity, like a good cause that you've researched and whatnot, if I do invest in those NFT projects, I pretty much know that the money that I spent on the NFT is going to be going to the charity or the nonprofit, and I'm not looking for a return on it. So it's kind of like a great way to commemorate that you've donated and you've done your service. So I think that they're cool. It's really cool, and I would be happy to support it also.
All right. Well, that's a good point there. You know, you're doing a little consulting. AJ, let's pretend you're AJ the consultant all of a sudden. What kind of advice would you give to a big brand that is looking into NFTs as a possible branding strategy?
Well, there's a lot of NFTs out there. Like every day, another project's minting on ADA or Solana or Ethereum even. So it's just like there's a lot of fish in that sea. So you're going to have to narrow that number down. Ways to narrow that down is to look at their Discord. How many people are in the Discord? How many users do they have? Are they actually talking in there, or is it just a bunch of bots? Look at their Twitter. There's a bunch of people retweeting stuff, or is there a community based around that? Is basically the point I'm getting to here. And are the people in that community, do they care actually about this project, or is it just something they do because they think they're going to make money? So like there's a lot of factors like that. And that's basically what I would look at if I was a consultant. I would say, is this project legit, or is it pretending to be legit like most projects?
Okay. All right. And real quick, I was able to pull up one. This is kind of you can see the Hugo in the background. This is their general vibe. It's a bunch of Chuck E. Cheese ball pit balls, orbs floating around on a body there. And why does the sun need sunglasses? Is that meta? I don't know. All right, Tim, a lot of companies, not only do they partner, but sometimes they kind of help launch NFTs. Do you think some of these brands are going to get a blowback from Dirty Gary Gensler in the future with, possibly selling securities here?
Good question. They got me this one last week too. I don't know, DZ. I don't know. It's really hard.
I love when Tim's like goes up. I don't know. Come on, Tim, pull something out of your. You know what? You're a smart guy.
Well, when you come these days, anytime Gary Gensler's name gets brought up, you got to start saying I don't know, because Gary's capable of anything. He'll go after whatever he wants to go after. When I'm looking at this stuff, I have a couple thoughts. I won't be able to give all of them. This though is nothing but a marketing stunt. I mean, they're partnering with these companies. Watch these NFT lines partner with these companies to get their name out there. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we're not only in the crypto YouTube space, views and everything are down. Marketers are looking for the best ways to get their name out there. And if they think they can attach themselves to a new NFT, and then this NFT has a charity attached to it, they're doing this just to get their name out there. And it's going to be a cheaper way for them to actually market to young people. Of course, you're going to get a lot of applause with that one, which I love it. I love the concept of youth, going after youth and trying to help ones that are struggling with depression. I don't think this is the way, and that's where I could keep going on a lot more thoughts that we don't have time for on the show. But this is a publicity stunt. What I'm excited for with NFTs in the future is when we stop just saying, how can we attach ourselves to these images and then almost have this a sense of pride because I own this image. Let's get to when we actually use them. Let's get to when these actually signify something that we can use in the real world and help people, not just sell pictures. And then when you buy it, you get to enter into this elite club. That's the part of NFTs I'm going to be excited about when we get away from it.
All right. And Brad, I hate to cut you short here, man, but I'm going to ask you a or B question here. And don't worry, I'll give you a bunch of points for it. Who is going to set this? Who's going to set the stage? Who's going to set the template for perks and utilities? Is it going to be homegrown NFT projects, or is it going to be big corporate projects like a Hugo Boss or possibly a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi? Who wins the utility war? The basement dwellers or the big brands?
I think you got to go with the big brands long term.
All right, I like that. I know some basement dwellers hearing that, and they don't like hearing that. So maybe they're going to come out and pull something out of that. You know what? All right, Wendy, it looks like you won it. I know we got to try to wrap it up somewhat soon here, but Wendy, please leave us with some parting thoughts. You always drop the alpha for us.
Thank you so much for having me back on. I know I've been gone a little bit, guys. I'm dealing with some personal stuff right now, but I'm happy to be back seeing you guys once a week. I will be on Twitter Spaces with Hotep Jesus tonight at 7 p.m. PST, and we're going to be talking about the Kim Kardashian thing. Also, love and light to everybody in the chat, even though the boys that were mean to me. And I hope you subscribe to my OnlyFans where I yell at you and tell you to take profit fully clothed. Love and light.
Hey, it's probably worth every penny. All right, that's all we got time for today, Bit Squad. Easy out. Be easy.